Dun, dun, dun. We are getting into it today. We are asking a very big question. Is it actually hard to make friends? Or are you just bad at it? Alex, don't insult me. It's Friday evening. I don't want to be insulted. But here's the thing. I'm not crazy when I say that. I'm not crazy because so many people tell me that. A little bit of context, second episode, so I'm going to still take the time to introduce myself. Hello, if we haven't met, I'm Alexandra. You can call me Alex, though. And I am the founder of a social group called International Research Labs. If you're a part of that group and you just were like, wait, what? That's what that stands for? Don't be alarmed. It's a very funny story, and I'm going to talk about this in a future podcast. But yes, it stands for International Research Labs, aka IRL, aka in real life. I've had the honor, the privilege, and the amazing experience of watching literally hundreds of people go through the friendship process over the last year and a half. And it has taught me so much about how friendship works or doesn't work, how connection works, how it doesn't work, and what people's hurdles and struggles are. And I've been able to have real life conversations with people about this. And I want to take what I have been learning and share it with the rest of the world so that you guys can start building really amazing, meaningful friendship and community. Okay, so that's the premise of this episode. We're going to be talking about, though, is it actually hard to make friends, or are you perhaps just bad at it? And you think it's crazy that I say that, but so many people think that they are bad at making friends. And that breaks my heart, because the reality is, after watching hundreds of people go through the friendship experience and process, I don't think people are bad at it. I've watched 95+% of people be extremely successful, and the 5-ish% that are not successful, it's because they're still in the learning process. They're just strengthening the muscle of connection and socializing. It's not that they're bad at it, it's that it's still a muscle that they're training. I don't think people are bad at it. I don't actually think it's that hard to make friends. I don't think that because I watch people be really, really good at it. But obviously, there's something still missing because people are struggling with it. You and I both know you wouldn't be listening to this if you weren't struggling with this, okay? So we need to talk about why is it still so hard. Let's step back. Let's rewind. You know, I'm about to get serious when she brings out her notes. Hashtag, there's the IRL at the back there, okay? Just a little shout out for IRL there. We need to step back and talk about the friend-making process so that we understand what we're working with, the baseline of where we're starting. So the making friend process is broken down into 3 stages. 1, meeting the new friends, obviously. Who are you going to be friends with if you haven't met them? 2, building the connection, okay, going from acquaintance into friends, and then maintaining the friendship, all right? Today, we're going to tackle stage 1, though, the meeting new friends, for 2 reasons. 1, as I've been having these conversations with you guys, this seems to be one of the biggest pain points across the board, so we need to address it. And then 2, hold on, I'm blanking. What was my number 2 for this? Okay, number 2, if you can't get past stage 1, how are you going to get to stage 2 and 3? Huh? How are you going to build the connection? How are you going to maintain the friendship if you can't even meet the new friends? You can't. So we're going to get into this, okay? And thank you guys for your patience, because I've never done a podcast before. I had no idea what I was doing. I felt very convicted to do this. Thank you, Holy Spirit, to bring this to life, to start helping people really begin to master growing good friendships and building really prosperous community. Prosperous? Is that the word? I don't know. Fruitful community. I don't know. Prosperous. I don't know if that's that's the word I want to use. But really fruitful community for themselves, and to be able to pass that on, because it's not something that we just do for ourselves. It's something that we do for others as well. Okay. So just bear with me as I'm learning the ropes of podcasting, having to have my notes, blah, blah, blah. So why is meeting new friends so hard? You and I both know that we live in a digital age. We've got remote workers. We have limited third spaces. If you don't know what third spaces are, I will explain this at a later time. We're actually going to do a whole podcast about this because I love a good third space. But basically, a third space is a place that you go that's not work or home. So these can be your churches, your coffee shops, et cetera, okay? But at the root, don't be mad when I say this, we're also a very self-focused society. It's all about my comfort, my presence, my schedule, all of that stuff. Don't be mad. We're going to talk about that also in a future episode, okay? So just let that fly past you. But these are a few reasons why we have developed into a community and into a society that it's hard to meet new friends. I had the fun opportunity of talking to you guys this week actually about how did you meet your best friends, okay? And I want to read off some of them. Some of them are very hilarious, okay? So Bab said that she met her best friend in high school 45 years ago. That's incredible. We love that. Jason, this was one of my favorites because I'm just like, wait, what? He said, I met one of them at 15 years old when I almost sat on his lunch the first day of high school. Another one I met when I bought a cell phone off of him in the in the college parking lot. And 2, I met on the internet at age 20 doing web search on an obscure rapper. You're going to have to tell us more about that, Jason. I'm curious. Jess met one of her best friends in her upper division apartment halls. I'm assuming this is like her college dorm. Daniel ended up sitting next to somebody that was really quiet, and Daniel was a talker. So the teacher in elementary school put them together. Some other people met their best friends at church, and some of them met them at their hobbies and their interest groups. What do we say is a trend in all of those? They're all through these random, unexpected, candid moments. They're through what I call head-on collisions, okay? These are truly those moments where you're essentially walking down the sidewalk. I'm putting these in air quotes, you guys, if you're listening in. Walking down the sidewalk and running into people. You're having these natural run-ins, collisions with people in the wild. But when we're living in this remote age, this age of having our headphones on, our faces down, all of this stuff, we are preventing ourselves from having head-on collisions. And this is where social groups come in, and they've been super helpful, and this is why social groups are thriving right now, aka IRL being a really good example, is because people are like, ooh, we need more opportunities to run into people, have head-on collisions. Where can we do that? How can we do that? And then you're finding people like myself who are manufacturing that experience for you. However, I don't think you can just only rely on social groups to do this, because you want to basically mass produce the opportunity to have head-on collisions, okay? So we need to create more opportunities in our life to run into people. Oh, and then the other problem is, okay, we have two problems for why it's hard to meet friends. And this one gets a little bit touchy, okay? We have lost the art of being approachable. Our muscle of approachability has gotten awfully weak. We live in our own bubble. And it's honestly, like, I have some sympathy for us because we are busy. Life feels chaotic. Sometimes we don't actually want to have the interactions. Like, there is a reason why we have reduced our approachability, but we need to bring that back. We need to re-strengthen that muscle to be approachable. And I have a little magic formula for how we can do that. Because here's the thing. I am an extremely action-oriented person, okay? To my demise, if I'm being completely honest. But most of all, I'm getting kind of personally, this is my personal opinion. I'm getting overwhelmed, for lack of a better word, and tired of content that just yaps at me about something that I already know. I know that you know that we don't have enough opportunities to meet new friends, and I know that you know that we're struggling with mastering the art of approachability, okay? But what good is it if I just tell you that? I want to help implement action steps into your life of how you can make these changes. So this is consider today's episode sort of a part 1 of a multi-part series, curriculum, if you will, almost, of steps that we can take to get through the 3 stages of friendship. So today we're talking about meeting new friends, and I'm going to give you some actual homework. Yes, you have homework from a podcast, okay? About how you can start meeting new friends more easily. And then in future episodes, we'll dive into stages 2 and 3 and stuff like that. So I want to enable and empower you to actually make changes in your life, not just listen to some girl on the camera, yap, 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 yap. So you've got homework, because starting today, we can fix the problem of not having enough opportunities to meet new friends and not being as approachable. Here's how we do it. We've got 7 days to do this. Why do I say 7 days? Because next week, I'm going to release another podcast and another article, and we're going to talk about this in another level. So if you're not doing homework if you're not establishing the baseline, you won't be ready to do the homework for next week either, okay? So that's why you must tackle this week. You've got 7 days, okay? So we're going to break this down to 3 steps. You have 3-part homework today. 1, you're going to practice being approachable. 2, you're going to go do something fun. And then 3, you're going to report back. Let me break these down for you entirely. Okay, so number 1, practice being approachable. You are going to use my magic formula. Let me step back and tell you, I have, aside from running IRL and obviously having so many opportunities to meet new people that way, I meet new people constantly, almost to the point where sometimes I get overwhelmed and I have to kind of keep my head down just so I don't meet new people to some degree, because I am an extrovert. I love to chat, but sometimes it is a little too much. But here's why I think that this is working, why I literally walk down the sidewalk and meet people regularly, like multiple times a week, because I implement this 3-part formula. 1, headphones out. No headphones. Take them out. 2, people are like, oh, I want my headphones in. You can keep them at the gym. I'll let you keep them in at the gym, but everywhere else, the headphones are out. You're present, you're aware, you're engaging with the world around you, okay? 2, eyes up. I can't tell you how many people I see walking around and their eyes are down. They're looking at the sidewalk. They're looking elsewhere. Eyes up. Look a person in the eye. Look a person in the eye, please. Oh my gosh, I love when a stranger walking down the sidewalk just gives me a look in the eye. Just a friendly look. It doesn't have to, don't be creepy, but don't be weird about it. Don't act like it's going to be creepy. Just a friendly, you can smile with your eyes. You really, truly can do that, okay? So headphones out, eyes up, and then the last part, and this one is easy peasy, okay? You're going to put a smile on. Oh, Alex, I don't want to smile at everybody. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you want to meet new friends. You're not listening to this if you didn't want to meet new friends, okay? And when I say smile on, now I am a crazy person. I walk around, I kid you not, no headphones in, okay? My eyes are up, and I'm walking around like this. like a little girl. Just boop-a-doop-a-doop. Everybody is my friend. Because this conveys to the world, hello, I'm friendly, I'm approachable, I'm somebody that you would feel comfortable talking to, okay? And it can just be just light. You can just, that's all it's got to be. If you're listening and you couldn't see that, but just know I just had a light little smile on my face. This is going to feel uncomfortable. My guess is that if you're an introvert, if you're listening into this, you're like, heck no, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to be approached. I can't tell you how many of you guys send me these comments and you're like, I don't want to be approached. Yes, you do. You think you don't. You've gotten out of the habit of being approached. You've gotten out of the comfort zone of being approached, but you do want to be approached. All these people be yapping about how they can't meet their husband walking down the sidewalk, how they can't meet their best friend at the grocery store, but they're not willing to be approached. Make it make sense. You're going to practice being approached. I don't care, frankly, sorry, and I apologize. I don't care that you feel uncomfortable. You're going to do it anyways. And you only have to do it for 7 days. And in a second, when we get back to the third part of the homework, the reporting back, you can tell me I actually hate this, Alex, and I won't be doing it. It makes me very nervous and uncomfortable. You can tell me that. You can give me that feedback, and I'll tell you why that's important here in a minute. But this week, for the next 7 days, you're going to be approachable. You're going to go to the grocery store, and you're not going to have your headphones in. You're going to have your eyes up. You're going to look the cashier in the eye and say, hi, how are you? That's all you got to do. And when you leave the cashier, say, thank you so much. Have a great day. That is practicing the being approachable. It's also retraining your brain that it's comfortable and it's safe to be approachable, because I think we have also gotten a little more on this later, a little bit into the dialogue that it's not safe to be approached. And there's a time and a place, obviously, that it's not safe to be approached, but holistically, most people are kind, nice people, and it's good to be approached. This is how we're meeting new friends. This is how we're increasing our opportunity to have collisions. Excuse me. Whoa, I almost died there on the word collision. Number 2, this is the fun part. You're going to go do something you love. Literally, that can be anything. Do you love to golf? Go golfing. Do you love to go for a walk along the beach? Go for a walk this week. Do you love to play pickleball? Go to pickleball. Do you love to craft? Go to the pottery place. I don't care. You're going to pick something that you love to do. And let me tell you exactly why I'm saying this so specifically, that it needs to be something that you love. 1, because you're automatically already you already automatically have something in common with the people that you're going to be around. It is instant icebreaker, because like, let's say you love crafting and pottery. You go to a pottery studio, literally everybody else there is interested in pottery. Otherwise, why else would they be there, okay? You instantly have this unspoken icebreaker. 2, when you're doing something that you love, you naturally feel more comfortable. One of the big hurdles with meeting new friends is that you often feel uncomfortable. You feel a little bit shy. You feel like, ooh, what do I do with my hands? When you're in an environment where you already feel like you already enjoy what you're doing, you're going to instantly be slightly more relaxed. So this is why it's important to specifically do something that you love. Also, when we're doing something that we love, we appear more approachable. Our eyes are slightly brighter. We smile more. Our cheeks, the skin is literally more flushed. You think I'm kidding? No, this is scientific, okay? We look more approachable when we're doing something that we love, which is why it's important that this week, for the next 7 days, you go do something that you love. You don't have to do it every single day. I'm not saying that. You need to go at least do it one time, okay? Because we're increasing the opportunity to have these collisions. And the third point is to report back. Now, this is really important, and I'm not just out here begging for engagement. That is not why. I want you to report back because, 1, it holds you accountable. Like I said, the goal is not to make you scholarly. I don't want you just to be well-versed in what I'm saying. I want you to be successful in what I'm sharing. I want you to have friends. I want you to have community. I want you to not feel lonely. I don't want you to have isolation, okay? So when you report back, that keeps you accountable. That helps me gauge where you're at. That helps me hold you accountable. You hold me accountable. I want to hear back what you either hated about it, what worked well, what made you feel nervous, any of those things, because that helps me help you. Because like I said, this is not just supposed to be me yapping at you. I want to be able to create content and information that's going to actually help you prosper in the world of community. So when you give me the feedback, and you can be honest, you can be like, I actually hate all of this homework, I don't want to do it. That's good data for me. I'm a data girl, okay? So any data point that you can give me is super duper helpful, all right? And then lastly, because like I said, this content is not just for me to yap at you. This is community content. This is content to help. It's intended, the social group, all of this content is intended to be something that is built by and for the people it's intended to help, okay? So when you engage with this content, it helps me know what I can help you with better. Also, it helps push forward this whole social movement, because that ultimately is what we're doing. You guys, I'm not just trying to improve your life and your loneliness and your isolation. This is all of us coming together, recognizing that we have a common problem and wanting to create a social movement around this. We want to remend, resuture, restructure the hole that isolation and loneliness has left in our lives. And that is what we're working toward. So when we take this homework, it's not just to improve your life. Yes, I 100% want it to improve your life, but it is to increase the likelihood that when your life improves, you're able to reach your what's the word I'm looking for? Community, realm of impact, sphere of impact, circle of impact, and help improve other people's lives too, okay? So this is the root of how we start a social movement to end loneliness and to end isolation. So your homework this week to improve your life and the lives of others is to practice being approachable, headphones out, eyes up, smile on, to go do something that you love, report, and let me know what you love, because I am so curious to hear what you guys pick as your activity of what you love. And it can be something simple as like you like to walk. Go for a walk. That's all you got to do, okay? And then number 3, you're going to report back, because I want to be able to help you in the best way that I possibly can. And I want to be able to hold you accountable, because the next thing I want to know, the next time I hear from you, I want to hear, wow, Alex, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling excited and empowered about meeting new friends and finding community. Okay, my phone's gonna overheat, so inevitably this has to be the end of the episode. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here. As always, I cannot express to you the joy it brings me to be able to share my life with you guys, to share all of the information that I'm learning about friendship, about life, about relationship, about God, all of the different things with you. It is changing my life. It is changing my world, and it means so much to me. So thank you so much for being here. And of course, I love you. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.